me Lord every day. Hello guys and welcome back to my live. Let's get ready to glam up. As usual, we start with the skin prep. Your skin prep involves cleansing your skin, applying some serum, moisturizer, and a primer, and then we get right into the application. So that has been done. Let's get into it. So today I'm gonna be starting. I'm gonna do the underpainting method today, and then we're gonna go from there. So the first thing I want to do is to do my brows, then I'll do the underpainting, and then we can do foundation last. Mary, did you know that's your baby boy? Did you know that's your baby boy? So you always want to start with a gel. I'm going to be using a spoolie brush and a little bit of gel. Put it on the back of my hand. I'm going to brush this onto the brows. Get it nice and good. I think I should have set this first. So we're gonna put just a little bit of foundation, a little bit. And my Sephora is almost out. She's almost out. She's almost out, oh, she's almost out. Da-da-da-da. I'm just gonna put a thin layer. This will also help when you're blending it all the way. So I'm gonna let that dry. And I'm gonna wipe up this one that I put the gel. Bless me, Lord, every day, every day, every day. Da 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 da. You're on my side. So we're gonna let this dry. So the needle wouldn't tread. Now I'm going to take some of that foundation and we're going to set the brows just lightly. And now we're going to set it. I think I'll just let this dry, then we can go straight into it. So today we're going to be using pencil to get this brows done. Pencil for the win. Right, I think my pencil fell off. Gosh. That's me, Lord, every day. This is nice and done. Gonna get my pencil ready. Remember, you always want your pencil very sharp. This one is about to be done. I don't know how much we can get out of it, but let's try. So grabbing my spoolie brush, I'm gonna go back into that gel and I'm gonna brush it up. You want this to stay nice and put. So we're gonna brush the front upwards and put this to the side. We're gonna do the same. Brush, 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 and slide it to the side. Once again, we're gonna brush it up and we're gonna slide it to the side. Simple. Now we're gonna set it with powder. And I'm just taking a brush and I'm gonna set this. So I'm just tapping it. Doing the same here. We really want this nice and flat as possible. Do you see how it's lying? And this also works if you don't even want to do the brows, right? You just get it like this and nice and you're good. But of course, you know we're going extra. So I'm gonna be using my pencil. This pencil is about done. Like, it's basically filling in those brows. Do you see that? So I like to pull it all the way. And we're going to do the same for the top. So notice how I'm just following the natural brow pattern. That's what you want to do. Just follow it gently and fill it up when you're done. Work on the outline, then you can fill it up. So if you're seeing me for the first time, hi and welcome to my live. My name is Jenna and I am a makeup artist, and on my live I do a live makeup class, so welcome to my class. So now you want to take this and fill this in just at the end. And keep your brush close because you're going to be working with this. Gotta go back in and brush through it. As you can see, it's soft and nice. Fill it in. When you get here, you want to be very gentle so that you don't dig it in and get a very harsh line. So I try as much as possible to get it really good so that I don't have to do a lot of work when I'm concealing it. So this is what we're left with. I'm gonna brush through it, and that's basically it for the brows. Now I'm going to go back and make sure that this is sharp and nice again. So you always want to sharpen your pencil. Make sure that the tip is nice and pointy, like this. This pencil is basically done. But we're gonna use our money's worth. So do you see how nice that line is? So keep it soft, especially when you get to the front. You want it soft so that it appears very natural. And I'm pulling it all the way. And there you go. And I'm just following the natural line. That one said no. So I'm just filling in any gaps that I think I see, like in here. And we're gonna fill the brows. And just pull it in a little bit in front. So make sure that you're keeping it simple and natural. So always have your brush so that you can glide through. Pretty similar. Now always check both of them because sometimes you'll end up with one either higher and the other one lower, or one more archier than the other one. One having more arc than the other, so look out for that. Feel anywhere you think you need to. Okay. Sometimes I end up drawing one side longer than the other. If this happens to you, you can always clean this up with your concealer. Brows are done. Now we're gonna use our wonderful concealer brush and some concealer to clean this up. I'm gonna show you my very easy method. Very, very easy and reliable, trust me. This works like gold every time. So I like to use a rounded brush, but if you've tried a rounded brush and it didn't work, stick to a flat brush. This one is round, I like it. This brush is from Murphy. So I'm using a foundation. Feel free to use a concealer. And I'm gonna use a darker shade as well, and you're gonna see why. This is a darker shade. And we're going to start with the curve or the arc, where you have an arc right about here. You want to make sure that your hairs are staying in place, so always go up with the brush, because sometimes it can be resting. And that is basically how you get it done. So make sure that you're pulling it down, or else you're gonna have like a very harsh line. Now this is where the darker shade comes in. I'm going to place it here. The aim is to get it looking very natural, especially towards the end and in front. So I'm going to follow this through. Now we're going to blend. So I like to blend the darker shade into the lighter one. And you're just tapping it through like this. Once again, we're going to go on the top. But to do the top, you want to wipe off your brush so that there's basically any product there. And you're just going to use that brush to pull this through. And this is what we're doing. I'm gonna pull it down all the way. And that's how you clean this up. Now, if you feel like you need to fill anywhere, make sure that you do this easily. Do you see that? I love it. You can run the brush through again. And one more time until we're perfectly satisfied. I think that's good. Now let's do this one. I'm gonna wipe off the brush and we're gonna do the same thing. Taking the lighter shade first, we're gonna work in that crease in here. Remember to pull it down. And tap, tap, tap. Make sure that you are satisfied before you go into the other shade. Okay, that's good. Now we're going to go into the darker shade and wrap this brows up. I'm going to wrap it up. Okay, now I'm going to fix the front and I'm just using the pencil. Hello, Galilee. Galilee. Welcome back. How are you? How have you been? You haven't been here in a while. Have you been good? Now we're going to finish this off. Wipe off the brush, reduce the product in the back of your hands. I'm good. Thanks for asking. I'm very well. Ooh, this is what it's looking like. It look good. That is nice. The brows are looking good. On to the next thing, blending it in. And I like to blend the darker one into the lighter one. It gives it a very natural finish. And we're just tapping this downwards. Yes, Galilee. Guys, if you're seeing me for the first time, hi, welcome to my live. My name is Jenna, and on my live, I do a live makeup class. So welcome to my class. Okay, brows are done. I love them. I love it. So we're going to go ahead and do the underpainting method. Now, if you've never heard of the underpainting method, you are at the right place. I don't know what exactly that is, but I'm just gonna ignore. All right. Da 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 cha cha da 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 ba 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 da ba ba ba. Okay. So this is done. Now let's do the eyeshadow. Oh, really? Oh, thank you. Thank you, thank you. Thank you for subscribing to my channel. I hope you've watched my other videos because I do a lot and lots of things. So I hope you've seen some of the videos. So I'm going to use some of my concealer to do my eyes so that I will... Oh, which is your favorite though? Which video is your fave? So I'm just tapping it in. And at the top, I just blend it out like this. As you can see, it looks good. Works every time. Oh, the ones where I do the trivia, eh? Oh. Well, I'm glad they make you laugh. Okay, eyes are ready. Now we're going to set this and then we're going to start with the eyeshadow. I don't even know what I'm doing today, but We're going to find out together. Let's get the show on the road. Eyeshadow. What are we gonna do today? Yes, it is 10 p.m., 10:12 p.m. over here in Canada. Oh yeah. So I'm guessing we're in this. Are you also in Canada? Oh, I see, I see. We're in the same time zone, so yes, yes, yes. Super exciting. What are we gonna do today? What are we gonna do today? What are we gonna do? What are we gonna do? I don't know. Let's see. I need to use a new color that I haven't used. So let's see what we've got. We've got a palette. Ooh, let's see. Oh, that's okay. Thanks for stopping by. Something green, maybe? I don't know. Ooh, I know, I know. I think I should do something smoky. Yes. I'm gonna do like a smoky eye, but with black. A little dark. That. You gotta trust the process. So I'm gonna pick up this black shade in here. Where's that shade? Yes. And we're gonna start with that one. Bye. Thanks for stopping by. Thank you. So I'm gonna start with it in here. So we're gonna kind of set a foundation somewhere around here. And we're gonna pull it in. And we're gonna pull it out softly. We're gonna keep building it inwards. And it's okay if you have like some spillover on the bottom. Just make sure that you get the top as good and as straight as possible. So if you're using like a very pigmented color like black, this method would work for you than doing like the foundation first, because when you have fallout you can just wipe it off. But then you can still work with the other method. Just make sure that you put, if you're using a very pigmented color, just make sure that you always have like your puff here so that it can catch the fallouts. Okay? Okay, so once we've had here nice and sharp, then we're going to move into plan B, the second shade. So I'm looking for colors that I haven't quite used on this palette. So I see this guy is kind of like in between pink and purple or maroon. It's like a brown shade. Let's try it. I'm just going to make sure I blend it into the black. That it looks as natural as possible. Try not to keep it so high so that you can still have like the arc going on there. So you can use a smaller brush to just target that area. I'm gonna pull this out just a little bit more, just because it really gives us that wing that we're looking for. I want it very light today, so I'm going to stop here, but then I'm going to take it a step further, and I'm going to be using this gray shimmer with this. For some reason this looks like it has like a bit of blue, so you might see some blue highlights in there. I'm placing it in between here. Oh, that is nice. Of course, you want to blend it in. Oh, I'm so tempted to take it all the way. Oh boy. Oh boy. So let's see. I'm just gonna keep on blending. At the end of the day, you really want everything to look like it's working together. What is that? Not bad. I think it works in a very interesting way. Now we're gonna go over to this eye and we're going to do that. Same thing, picking the black, and we're starting with this in here. So I like to place it and then use the brush to like pull it out. I feel like that always really helps with like the angle. So keep your hands in a steady position and just pull it. It will really help you with that angle. And we're gonna keep on building. I'm gonna look at this one. You want to get the position as accurate as possible. And if for any reason like you don't get the wing, it's okay. You can fix this with like your concealer. For some reason I never get this eye as accurate as possible, but I think today is about it. It's close enough, so I'll take it. Ooh, that is nice. All right, now we're switching to that brown shade or pink shade. I don't know what shade that is, but I think it does have some brown in it. So try to keep it as low as possible. To make sure you blend it into that black shade. Once again, like I said, this method is perfect for beginners who struggle with like doing eye makeup. This just helps you so that if you have any fallout, you can easily wipe it off. So I'm going to look at it from side to side. Make sure that we're keeping it as close as possible. If you make a mistake, you can fix it using a concealer brush like this. Or you could just leave it if you're okay with it. Clearly I'm not. Okay. Gotta keep it in line. I'm gonna look from side to side and see that they're as close as possible. Now adjust whatever you need to adjust. Yep, that's about right. I went a little overboard with this one. Now I gotta fix it. Oh boy. So that is done. Now I'm gonna fill it in with some glitter. Give me. Do, 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 do. So good. Ba, 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 da, ba, ba, da, do, do. Dancing. Time was a leaping. And they were dancing, they were dancing for me. Now to finish this off, I'm gonna go in with a super light shade for the inside because I want it to pop. So I'm gonna go for like a brown shade. Taking this one and I'm gonna be putting it inside. Or we can go for something else. Like this one. I don't know, should I go for a pink or a gold? Choices. Or red. Choices, choices, choices. Oh, okay, I'm gonna go for this one. I've hardly used that one, so I'm excited. And this we're gonna place in here like this. I do not see the shimmer though. Not bad. I feel like it's not really doing much in there. So I'm going to take a little bit of gold and place it on top here. Now let's get into the main work. Let's get some makeup done, okay? So I'm going to take a wipe and we're just going to clean this. Do you see how sharp that is? I'm going to do the same thing for here. Okay. Want to wipe it? The top is a little bit off. So I'm going to use a little bit of concealer to fix this. This is beginning to go sour. This is beginning to go sour. I have to pull it down again. I think I went a little overboard with cleaning it. Okay. Now I'm going to angle this so I can get it looking really nice. One more time. Okay, not bad. So I'm gonna pull the brown in just a little more on this side. Not bad. Could have been better, but I think it's good, honestly. Okay. Now let's do a little bit of underpainting. So it's typically doing your highlight and contour before your actual foundation. So let's see how that works. So I'm going to be a little generous with this because I want it to show. Oh, that is so crooked. Okay. And now I'm going to do some of my contour. I'm just going to let this sit so that it gets like really nice and pigmented. So whenever you're doing underpainting, you may want to go a little bit darker with your concealer or foundation, as the case may be, like I'm using. Just make sure you tone it down just a little bit. So I'm going to take my brush and I'm going to start working. I'm placing this here. As you can see, this is a little darker than I would usually go for. But make sure that you really blend it in. Press it until it's well blended. And you want to do this part too. And this part. Okay. As you can see, we're pretty bronzed. So I'm going to start blending. You want to make sure that you have some form of product on your hand before you blend. This will really help you work in that product. While that is going on, I'm going to make sure that I have some under my eyes. I'm going to place it here. So you want to make sure that you place it properly. Hi Heather, how are you doing today? Welcome, welcome, welcome. Did you go to work? Or did you take off days too? So making sure that you're blending, just tap it into your skin. And we're doing this part. Oh boy, it's gonna be so hard to blend, but underpainting though. So I'm gonna switch to a brush just because this is gonna be. Oh, you're at work. Oh, you're almost off. That's good. How is work today? I am very well. Thanks for asking. So a downside to underpainting is that once you've done your brows, if you've done your brows, it's gonna be a little tough, but switching to a brush can really help you to fix that. Okay, that ended up actually okay. Don't worry, very soon you'll be home. Gonna be home very, very soon. So I'm just tapping. Really? Wow. Thank you. I guess it's also because of, maybe it's my lightning. Maybe it's my light setting too. But then I've also been taking like vitamins, so maybe that's helping a lot. With underpainting, you have to trust the process because trust me, when you're done, you're going to look like this. So just trust the process, don't wipe it all off. You have to do like this just so that it really shows underneath that foundation, because once you put on foundation it just gives your skin a very flat look. So the underpainting tries to emphasize it just a little bit. Well, I recently started taking lots and lots and lots of vitamins, so I think maybe you can like try opting for that. Vitamin E is very good for the skin, which is what I've been taking recently, so I think that helps. Because sometimes you can't really get everything in your food, so having extra just makes everything so much better. Okay, we're done with this. Just looking through to make sure that I don't have any spots. Guys, trust me, you need to trust the process, because at this point you want to give up, but Yakubu, manage. Manage. Okay, so I'm using my Sephora foundation, and this I'll be applying with my brush. So what you want to do is you want to place it on the parts that you haven't put anything, and then over the parts that you have put something, like your contour. You see, it's gonna give you a very, very light finish. So for under your eyes, you don't have to touch it because you already put concealer. So that's perfectly okay. Just make sure that you're blending out the hash lines. See? Works every time. Underpainting is so good, especially if you like struggle with blending. I think underpainting is good because you can hardly go wrong with underpainting. However, sometimes you may end up with like a lot of products on your skin, so that's the downside. But other than that, you're good. Richie's in the house. Hi, hi, hi. How are you doing today? So I'm blending in because we have to make sure that this is all blended. Do you see that? It works every time. Okay. Now, if you like, you can go ahead and apply a little more of like your contour to give it back a little bit of life. You don't have to dip it back in the product. You can just use the residue on the brush and bring back that warmth. So this is what we're having. So you have to set your under eyes because at this point she's gonna be creasing. So to fix that, you may just take a little bit of your concealer, place a tiny drop, very tiny drop. Trust me, you don't want too much. We're gonna blend this. And yeah, that's what we're looking like. For some reason, this part does not want to fix up, so I have to force it to do so. Buddy, you have to work with me. That will teach you. So you want to blend, blend, blend. Ooh, that looks good. Now we're going to set before it has any time to crease. You want to look up and set, set, set. Guys, I'm so excited. We finally have the good weather. Like, it was so good today. I almost did not wear a jacket. And then I was like, on second thought, I don't want to be surprised when I go out. But it was really good. However, we're going to have rain tomorrow. But yeah, our ice is finally melting. Yay! We're getting to summer. Okay. But when we've gotten that nice and set, really, I like the weather is beautiful. I love it. Couldn't wait for it, honestly. Now I'm gonna go ahead and apply some blush because we haven't done that. Like, I just couldn't wait for it this year. Like, this year the winter was brutal. Like, my God, I was so upset. The winter was so upset. So I'm gonna slap on some blush. I'll be very careful with your application because you can go overboard like I always do. Ooh, I like this side. This side is just a little too much. This is soft and nice. Oh, we gotta fix this sister because she's all over the place. So I'm just gonna press it in until it has given me a soft blush. We're demanding a soft blush from you, Missy. And you're gonna give it. So I'm fix up here just a little because I went a little crazy with the blush. What's the weather for you guys, Heather? Yes, that is why you have to use foundation and you have to use powder always. Like, because your foundation probably has like lots of foundations have oils in them. So if you don't set them with powders, what's going to happen is once they've sat on your face and the oils activate, because whenever you have makeup, you're still going to have your oils and your face doing its natural work. So your oils are going to come out in play. If you're sweating, it's going to come out in play. Having the powder to set it makes a lot of difference. And I know for a fact because it has happened to me a couple of times and I won't just set the rest of my face. And those parts that were not properly set always sweat. They always tend to sweat and it doesn't look nice. So if you're struggling with that, that's probably why, because you didn't set it with powder. So make sure you don't skip that every time you do your makeup. Make sure that you are setting. It makes a whole lot of difference. I'm gonna use powder contour for my nose. Yeah, always set, even if you do your contour and highlights, set it with it like a bronzer. For your contour, you can set it with a bronzer. And then for your highlights, you have to use like a lighter shade of powder that matches your concealer. That is the secret. That is what makes like professional makeup different. Just technique. You may probably be using the same products, but technique just makes the difference. I could wear this for hours, and even when my natural oils come to play, you wouldn't even be able to tell that I've been wearing it for hours. So yeah, just a little food for thought. So if you're struggling with that, try this and trust me, it's gonna be so much better. So always remember to set your nose because I don't remember to do that sometimes. So set the highlights so that when you do your contour, your powder contour, you can really see it. So when I get to this part, I like to use like a darker shade just in here. It's totally optional, but I feel like that really makes it a whole lot of difference. Also, you might want to like check the product that you're using. I find that some foundations are super oily, so also make sure that the products you're using is not too oily. Because then even when you put like a powder and if your skin is oily, Heather, do you have oily skin? I don't remember if we had this conversation. Did we have this conversation? Okay, so that means you have combination skin. So usually this is the part of your face that is oily, yeah? Your T zone, yeah? This part is the oily part. Is that the oily part for you? So now this is the time that I'm gonna set the rest of my face. You also don't want to skip this part. Always set the rest of your face with a powder. Powder comes to play. It's always shiny. So where is the dry part though? So which part of your face is dry? You may just have combination to oily skin, because I have dry to combination skin. So for the most part, my cheeks are always dry, but my nose, my forehead, always shiny. Sometimes it's not even necessarily oily; it's just shiny. So it happens. It could be the case of that, right? So it happens sometimes. So now we can set the blush. Very soft and nice. Mary, did you know that your baby boy Okay, then you're probably oily. So if you have oily skin, you want to run away from like oil-based foundations. If that is the case, go for like water-based foundations, because then you have a chance. Because once the oils on your skin begin to play, they activate the oils from the products, right? So, and also, whenever you have like your makeup on, if you're gonna have makeup, you want to also. I recently learned that because I didn't know myself, right? So I recently learned that like if you have oily skin too, you want to really tone down the skincare you do before your makeup. So keeping it simple to just like um moisturizer and primer is really good for you. You may not have to use serums, but then two things. You may use two primers. You want to use like a gripping primer like the Hydro Grip or Rimmel also has a grip. I think they have a gripping primer. Elf has a gripping primer. Those ones help to grip the product to your skin, just like in the name. It helps the product to really um, stick to the other products. So that helps. So to be honest, I don't know a lot of like. I have to do a research, right? Maybe I'll go do a research. So I'll give like foundation ideas. Maybe I'll do like a video for suggestions for dry, oily, and then normal skin, because that could really help those who are searching, right? But you want to tone down like the oils that you add to your face, because they could be activating and adding to the oils that you already have on your face. But for the most part, right now, what you want to do is just make sure that your primer is good. Make sure that you're using a good primer, because a lot of times a good primer can really save you a lot. So make sure your primer is really good. Use a good primer. You could use a gripping primer, or you can use a mattifying primer. Um, then your powder. Always make sure that you powder your face. So one thing you can do is you can always spray your face after you've done your skin work. This just helps to set what you've done. So what are you looking for? The drugstore foundations or high end? What is your price range? Or just something good you don't mind? Okay. Now we're gonna finish this up with some good old mascara. Good old fashioned mascara. And some eyeliner. Using this one. Voila. All done. So Ulta or Utah has like their own foundation. You may want to try something else. So honestly, when it comes to things like foundation, you just want to keep on trying until you find the one that suits you. Then I have some mascara. Good old fashioned mascara. Okay. This is what we're looking like. Now, for the lip, we're going to keep it simple. Some pencil. Okay, thank you so much. Thanks for sticking around, and I will see you again tomorrow. Be safe. Have a good one. Okay. All right. So I'm going to finish up with this lip gloss from Estate. Just think it's perfect for the look, so. Ooh, okay, I think I made a mistake. Before I do that, I'm going to use one of our glosses from the Beauty Expressions. I'm going to look for one of those. I'm going to use that. Okay. Yeah. So I'm going to be using this one from Beauty Impressions. And this is Honey Silk. It has a very nice yellow to it. Yes. Okay. And we're done. It's been a long time since I did a very long live, so this is pretty much it for this look. And that's a wrap. I love how this turned out. The best part of underpainting is always that it always looks very nice and professionally done. So try this and let me know how it turned out. Always finish off with an additional spray. This just helps to lock everything in. Make sure you dry completely before you go about your business. Now, if you love like a more matte look, you can go ahead and use a mattifying spray. But just in case you don't have a mattifying spray, just go ahead and touch your face back with some powder and you're good. So my forehead has refused to dry, so we're gonna wait for it to dry. Because if you go ahead and touch your makeup when you've sprayed, it's not gonna end well. So make sure it dries. Okay, I think my fan is dead. Now to finish off, I'm gonna put some highlighter and we'll call this makeup done. You can always do this when you're done spraying, but be careful so that you don't over apply. And just in case you over apply, just go ahead and use your blush to fix it up. Always apply in like circular motion, that helps. I never see this coming before, wonder, wonder. The first and the last. Okay, it's about done. And I'm just using a little defined brush to do the nose. You want to put it on the bridge, like so. And here. And that's about done. So we're gonna call this a night. Thanks for sticking around, and I will see you guys again. Have a good one. Bye, guys.